The wheel of time turns and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Welcome to Dragonmount. I'm Kathy Campbell.
I'm Rajiv Moté.
And I'm Maureen Carr.
And we're back. Surprise! Or I guess not surprise, but the season 3 trailer just launched this morning. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, and we are recording our first episode of season 3 for this podcast.
Hooray!
Woohoo!
Yay.
We made
Very
it.
We
excited.
made it. We should probably, though, Kathy, tell them this is going to be a little bit different when it comes to book spoilers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So normally this podcast likes to keep this as book spoiler free as possible in the main episode. However, this trailer has a significant amount of information, and part of that includes some light book spoilers. We will be identifying locations and characters and items that are showcased with some ideas of what they pertain to in the books. We will try to keep it spoiler light, but forgive us if we slip. If this is not the type of podcast you would like, feel free to skip this episode and join us later. But this is really difficult, especially since we have been told that season 3 is going to be very similar to book 4 in plots and whatnot. So we have a fairly good idea of what it might be.
And it really does look like it's going to be all of book 4 and some of book 3,
Yeah.
which kind of boggles my mind.
Yeah. And possibly some of book 5.
hmm
But we'll get into that as lightly as possible. Again, we're going to try and keep this light. And then at the end of the episode, we will do our traditional full book spoiler section, where we will go much deeper into the
Okay. Okay.
actual stuff. I know, Rajiv, we got to remind you what this podcast is, what it looks like, what it's done. It's been a while. It's been a
It
while.
has.
It's been a long time. It's been a
Yeah.
longer time since I've read the books. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
they'll come
Sometimes,
back.
yeah, sometimes the parts of the book just are so ingrained, especially if you've read them a couple times. If this is your first episode, welcome. I'm Kathy. I am the Dragonmount CEO, and I have been reading the books since 2000. Yeah, fall of 2000. Um, and I met my spouse through Wheel of Time from tarvalon.net. My child's birth name was Avienda. I've been a huge fan. I've read them multiple times, and I just am so passionate about the stories, about the characters, about the people, but most importantly, about the fandom and the people that are involved.
So again, I'm Rajiv Moté. I think I started reading, I read the first 3 books in paperback and was in line to get the 4th book, The Shadow Rising. And I think I've reread the series every time a new book was added. So,
Mhm.
you know, uh, I do remember a lot of it, but then again, this was what, decades ago? This was before
Yes.
my daughter was born, for sure. And she's a teenager. So,
And I started reading in I think 1999. I was a junior in high school or senior, I don't remember. Um, and my sister picked it up because it had the word dragon in it, and she was going through her, typical dragon phase that all teenagers go through. And she just loved it. So I read it and I loved it, and it just sticks with you. It's just been such a part of my adult life, since graduating high school till now. It's you can't think of your life without it.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. All right, well, let's get started then. We are going to go through this kind of bit by bit. We are using an incredible spreadsheet that I'm pretty sure. Actually, let me confirm that it was Watt Series before I say it. Huge thank you to Watt Series for the timestamp breakdown of
hmm
this trailer is going to really, really help contribute to our walkthrough of this.
hmm
Um, And yeah, let's get started. So the very first, we've got a beautiful golden prime logo, but more importantly, in sand dunes. Um, this is the threefold land, um, the Aiel Waste, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and we have some people walking along the edge, the ridge,
Mm-hmm.
the I don't know, what do you call that? The top of the
Sand dune.
top of
It's
the
on a
sand dunes.
dune.
Yeah.
They plant a thumper. They're going to call some worms. Oh,
Yes.
wait. No, that was the wrong
Wrong
preview. All right.
series.
Um,
Wrong
yeah,
series.
but I mean, the waste is the Aiel waste is a big location in book 4, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and it is where this warrior race comes from. They are hardened by it. They are shaped by it. It is a punishment for their sins, as they say. I think that was even one of the one of the quotations in season 2.
Yeah.
But now we're going to go there. And can we skip ahead a little bit
Yeah.
and say that Rand goes ahead and he's talking to his friends and he says, "I'm gonna go where they least expect me to go, or
Yes.
where they won't expect to find me." And this is like, if the Two Rivers was a backwater that nobody goes to, this is like the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It is a
Yep.
way nobody goes there. Nobody trades with these folk except for the odd tinker or so. It's really remote, and these people who we've started to see, like Gavienda, who kicked
Mm-hmm.
so much butt last
And Bane and
season,
Chiad.
yeah, them too, and they all came. They came looking for someone, and we get a hint of what they're looking for in this preview too. But
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
it looks like Rand went back with them, and it looks like at least a couple of people have gone with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Based off of like kind of silhouettes that we can see, I think Rand's in the front, and then I think we have Ruark right behind,
Mm-hmm.
and then possibly two wise ones, or Moraine and a wise one, maybe, or Moraine and like Egwene.
Mm-hmm.
Two people in skirts, and then we have a couple more, three more Aiel walking behind them, which could be anyone, could be Ruark's buddies. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options
Mm-hmm.
available
Yeah.
for who they might be. Um, and then the next scene is three people galloping on horses. Uh, these are Nynaeve and Egwene and Elaine from we saw photos of it in picture releases, and confirming that they
Okay,
are
okay.
the three of them
The Wonder
riding along.
Girls.
Yes,
The
the
Wonder
Wonder
Girls, yeah.
Girls. Yes. There's speculation that this is during Egwene's testing. So in season 2, when Nynaeve was tested, she, went back in um, the third ring is when she, had the life with Lan and
Mm-hmm.
had babies and whatnot. And there's talk that this is similar. Obviously not the same because Lan's not in it, but
She's gonna
Lands in
have Land's babies.
everybody's
yes,
visions for some reason.
Yeah, all that's what the third ring is can you escape Lan?
And it looks like, and this is kind of the next scene,
Mhm.
um, that this is the same setting where we see someone who's standing in the river.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's got long hair, and then we pan over, and oh, is that Rand with long
Mhm.
hair? But he's got the
Yep.
coat. He's got the kind of red coat with the gold scroll work, and he doesn't look well, or at
No,
least
he looks a little mad.
yeah,
Mhm.
looks a little mad. Yes,
Not
and not
angry.
angry,
No.
just mad.
Just mad. Yes. Yes. Which is I think would pair nicely with the Wonder Girls. I think it's entirely possible that these two scenes are connected. We have the Wonder Girls with Egwene as a Mirlin, which has been so one of the theories from the photos is that it's Egwene as a Mirlin with two Aes Sedai, Elaine and Nynaeve as Aes Sedai with her. Speculation is that Egwene didn't have a stone in her ring to show the Aja that she was from, which would make her a Mirlin because Mirlins are not associated with any particular Aja.
Of no Aja and all.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. So this would tie in.
Now this is interesting because, we saw a trio of Aes Sedai on horseback going after a guy who could channel, and it did not end very well for him.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see how this ends. All right, next scene is the really epic Moraine with the ball of power. Whether a Terangrial or something, it's unsure. Some sort of sphere, and it looks like it takes place in the waste as well. Some rocks, with the sand dunes around. Gorgeous shot, like absolutely stunning. This trailer is full of just some incredible imagery. Absolutely
wonderfully
incredible.
cinematic shots. And there are flows of power coming out of that thing she's holding. So it looks like she's doing something, with a wide effect. So, and frankly, I have no idea what she's doing, even from the books.
No idea.
I've got some theories, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. I do know, though, so this is most likely from one of the photos that was also released, that similar thing with the sphere. And the files were associated with what episode that they were on. And this one was associated with episode 8. So this might be some sort of the big finale.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna do a big wide weave on something, why not
you
save
might as
that
well
to the finale? she made a big draft in the first time. What's she gonna do? For season 2.
Yes.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking. So, oh well.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. All right, next scene we have Mother taking care of Mother. Capital M with a lowercase. Swan as a Mirlin is taking charge of Leandrin, with Leanne and Alana beside her. We've got Nynaeve in the corner, clearly the Hall of the Tower. She's got control, but based off of some future things coming, I don't think the control is going to stick for very long.
So I haven't done a rewatch recently of season 2. Where did we end with Leandrin at the end of season 2? Do we remember?
I'm fairly certain that she had disappeared after dropping the girls off to the Shanshan. I don't think she
got back in the ways, right? She went back.
Okay, so maybe she's back in the tower.
She's back in the tower,
And if Nynaeve is also in the tower, then we know that there's going to be an accusation there. So this is a trial. Leandrin has been uncovered for her crimes.
Yes.
And to be uncovered for your crimes in this case means something that's pretty much unthinkable for the tower. There was a dark friend among us.
Yes.
And, part of this trailer after that is a whole bunch of Aes Sedai fighting each other with the power.
Yes.
So she has friends, it seems.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's see. Next up is that fight. We've got the battle scene going on. We've got basically a bunch of Aes Sedai fighting against each other. We've got Joya there, a couple Aes Sedai from different Ajas are fighting from the center out,
Mhm.
which implies that they are fighting against the Amirlan and everything else. And it's epic. Like the at 15 seconds in is one of the most epic. Like there's a ball of fire in the middle. We've
Nice.
got just like so many weaves flying
Mhm.
everywhere. Like it's intense. The production level is heightened.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Let's just
yeah.
say that.
Now we know that the three oaths say that you're not supposed to use the one power as a weapon.
hmm
Uh, so how do you think this plays with a fight going on with the one power?
Well, clearly it doesn't matter if you have our Black Aja. Yeah, we've got internal battle raging,
Mhm.
um, and protection against what is right and versus, what is safe. But yeah, we've got Leanne comes in at one point and like blocks this fireball to
Mhm.
protect the
Yeah.
swan, which is
Yeah, that's really
cool.
cool.
I love it.
Mhm.
And then Leandrin is in like the ball of fire around Leandrin starts dissolving
Mhm.
as Swan gets knocked over. So clearly, this is not going to end really well because if
Mhm.
Leandrin is no longer uh, contained,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
she's kind of in charge of things.
Mhm.
Maureen, actually, I was thinking of you when I was watching this scene because, yeah,
Mhm.
there's all this explosives and pyrotechnics and stuff like that, but there are all these gowns, like they're having a battle in just finery and costumes. I mean, were you tracking all that? Were you taking
I was
notes the whole
not. No,
time?
gosh. Yeah, right. I was looking at the fireballs.
Oh
Cool,
my
Yeah.
cool.
goodness.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look more closely.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see what comes from these costumes. Sharon
Mhm.
Gilliam did an incredible job again. I feel like season 1 was solid. Season 1 was fine. Season 2, the new production team came in and kind of built and shaped their goals and ideas, and season 3 is where they're really shining, where
Yeah.
Mm,
it's just showcasing incredibleness.
Mhm.
I love that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's a great progression because the story is progressing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
it's
that's
getting
true.
bigger and crazier, and we're spanning more locations, we're
Yes.
spanning more time frames,
Mhm.
we're
Yeah.
going into alternate realities, and we're
Yeah.
getting characters that are more powerful than we've seen.
Yes.
Mhm.
And of
Yes.
course, our heroes are going to be stepping up too. And you know,
Yep.
Nynaeve did her Super Saiyan thing when she healed everybody in the room
Uh-huh.
back in season 1.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
and what I love that's consistent with the books is that she keeps like topping everyone by doing
Mhm.
some miracle that's been, never done before. She manages to figure out how to do. So
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how that evolves.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes, for sure. Next up, we've got an explosion with men flying. Looks
Mhm.
like it's probably Tarvalon based on the windows.
Mhm.
Is what I
Yeah,
would guess, which means probably the warders are outside. I mean, we
Yeah,
know
because they're
that
not
there were
allowed in the
no,
hall.
yeah, yeah, and that helped protect the Black Aja because
Mhm.
there's no warders there to protect
yeah,
their Aes Sedai, and so that's probably what this is. But it's quick scene, not super long.
yeah. I
And
think with all of this fighting and with the trial of Leandrin, we did see something that I was wondering about by, around the end of season 2. Um, Siwon comes in and confronts everybody, and uh, sort of Lanfear gives a flick of her wrist and does something to her,
Mhm.
knocks her out for sure. I was wondering if she would be severed from the one power as well.
Mhm.
mm,
Um, but it looks like she's not. She's
yeah,
Yeah.
still Amerlin.
yeah,
Mhm.
And this is what's happening now. But there is there's a battle under her watch. There is
Mm-hmm.
the White Tower is being literally ripped apart,
Yeah.
as we see from Alana's scene too.
Yeah.
She's
Mm-hmm.
ripping up the pavement, throwing stuff, and
Yeah.
so the tower will not be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes. Yeah.
and this is the flashpoint. The flashpoint is Leandrin's trial,
Yeah.
which is a little bit which is I think unique to the show. The book played it a little differently. But
Next scene. Rainy Tarvalon.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous. The
Mm-hmm.
the detail in it in the city is incredible. And it's gorgeous. Just beautiful. And then we have this next scene was, I'm pretty sure, was in the teaser trailer. We've got Aes Sedai walking in somewhere in the tower, I'm guessing. Gigantic statues
Mm-hmm.
hanging out. Got a couple other Ajas represented around the outside. Aes Sedai. Looks like probably warders too. It's pretty dark, so it's hard to say. But
Mm-hmm.
during this part, they say we cannot stand behind these walls and pretend we still have control. Such a good line.
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So is that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because this could even be a flashback of um, well,
yeah, it could
I
be
guess
like
lots of things. It could be
yeah,
happening in the past where the Aes Sedai have been isolationist and the shadow has encroached as a result of that,
hmm
or it could be something that's happening right now. And there's some of the Aes Sedai who want to get out in the world, especially the dragon has been reborn and has
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
yeah,
stood up, and a giant fiery dragon has proclaimed him. Uh, can you, should you be in the tower
yeah.
when something like that is happening?
When there's so
Mm-hmm.
much going on, yeah. And I like I like that idea. I like this
Mm-hmm.
line in the trailer. That's pretty good. And then another scene, we get a flash to the hall of the tower, and then Leandrin staring daggers, presumably at Swan, but unsure right now.
Mm-hmm.
That felt to me like it was right before the trial scene that we saw
Yeah.
Yeah,
taking
She
place.
looks not with her little braids, and
Yeah,
she looks a little bit ragged, and like yeah, she's
yeah,
for
still in
sure.
confinement, ready
Like
to
she
be
was just
tried.
dragged from her cell to
Yeah.
to
yeah,
face
Mm-hmm.
justice.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Agreed. Okay.
yeah.
And then it says this March, which I love the font that they're using. It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like very archy, but still easy to read. Well done. And then we see Moraine and Lan in Tarvalon looking up, saying this tower is destroying itself from the inside out. Um, so Moraine was not supposed to come back to the city.
Wait, was that Moraine's line or was that Egwene's line?
Oh,
I
it's
thought
I think it's
Egwene.
yeah, it's Egwene's
Yeah,
Yeah.
line.
yeah.
Sorry. It's overplay. It's Egwene
Ah,
said it.
got it.
Yep, sorry. Sorry.
Um, yeah, you're right though. She wasn't supposed to come back. Have
Mm-hmm.
we verified that she is back? Did we see her in Tarvalon?
In this part at 27 seconds,
Oh,
she's
okay.
very much at Tarvalon. I know because I stood in that spot
Oh, that's
in
so
Prague.
cool. That is so
I
cool.
can guarantee that that's Tarvalon. I
Very
recognize the
cool.
little like overlay thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, the
But
little
again, flashbacks. We've
flashbacks.
got
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. It could
potential.
be, yeah, could potentially be a flashback, or she's there now, like, and just in hiding. Hard to say, but it is lined up, and that's the hard thing with the trailer is that you never know, what actually is sequentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll find out.
Well, so here's the thing. So she wasn't supposed to come back by oath until
Suan
Swan
Sante
Sanche summons her and
calls
calls her
her home.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
calls her home. Um, we do have a few clicks later. a scene where Maureen is talking to somebody, and talking about how the tower must bend the knee to Rand,
Mm.
but the location really looks like their love shack, right? Swan and
Yeah.
Maureen's
Oh, we'll
little
get
love
there.
shack
We'll
thing.
get there. Stop jumping
We'll get
ahead.
there, but all I'm saying is she could be
She
there
could be summoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if they had a conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Good call. All
All
right.
right.
So yeah. Angry Egwene, um, yelling about, the tower's destroying itself. And then we've got a scene of
It's a
Alana.
strong leader.
Yes.
Who will step up? All right, we'll find out.
Then we have Alana with warders Ivan and Maxim ready to kick some ass in the city of Tarvalon. Exploding. That's a heck of a pothole. Is what's going on.
Not driving the streets of Tarvalon there. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. No. No. So clearly
Now,
the battle's going to rage outside of the hall.
okay, so there was a whole thing, right? Remember when we had close-ups of I think it was Ivan or was it Maxim? It was Maxim kind of making a little gesture with his thumb between his fingers, and people in the know were speculating that something's not right with that guy, like he could have some secret
Oh yeah.
allegiances.
Okay.
Do
I
we
do
have any
remember that.
idea what side they're fighting on at this point?
No.
No.
No. Interesting.
So, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Are they trying to free Leandrin, or are they trying to
Yeah.
combat the people who are
I
trying
don't
to
know.
sentence
I
her?
mean,
We
it's
don't
hard to
know.
say because Alana was standing with Swan and Leanne
Yeah.
in the hall. Um
True.
and uh
Mhm.
but who knows what the warders are thinking, because
Yeah.
they are their own individual people.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
They can keep secrets. We've learned that. They can
Yes.
keep secrets. So
Yes, exactly.
implicating one doesn't implicate all.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Plot
So
thickens.
next up, we see Moraine talking to Swan. Yep. It looks like the Love Shack.
Mhm.
And if the White Tower does not bend the knee to Rand al'Thor, he will lose the last battle. We're gonna assume she's talking to Swan. We don't see it, but it's
Mhm.
definitely
Yeah.
assumed. And then
Yeah.
it switches over to Rand in a like a row of spears in the desert. Clearly,
Wait, what? One sec, one
hot.
sec. I gotta ask a question.
Yes.
Last time they visited the Love Shack, it was through uh, a mirror, a picture,
A
a
picture.
portrait
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was in her quarters in the tower,
Yeah.
right? Uh, so my theory was that this is how she gets summoned back to the tower, but
Mm.
either that's not the case and she got back to the tower so she can use that thing, or there's another way to get to the Love Shack.
Yeah. Maybe. Well,
I
because
thought it was portable. Like, didn't we? Because Maureen was
Oh,
out
just took it
so
off the
much.
walls.
Yeah. Look, like
Okay,
there was
I would too.
because if
Yeah.
Maureen's out in the world, they had to have a way to communicate and to meet up for, romance, but then
Okay.
also
communication.
communication about the
Yeah.
dragon. Right. So there had to be a way for them to do it. So I thought it was smaller.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
it's the
okay.
picture inside the like, because she opened the frame and there was something inside, right?
Well,
True.
it was. I
It was
mean,
a
it was still pretty
yeah,
big. I
but
have a.
that's
I,
travel size.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was
It's
travel size.
it's bigger than a book, but yes, it's definitely
It
travel
wasn't
size.
it wasn't like a big ginormous.
Yeah, it's not like a 6-foot painting. Do. Don't
Right.
mind me
Yeah.
as I leave with a gigantic.
Personal memento.
Right.
All right. Now I like Maureen's theory there. So
Yeah.
that's
Does
what they
that work?
took to still communicate. So they're, you know, although that's the thing is, how did we leave those two? They were either they were faking a very,
Baking.
very bad uh schism between them, or they somehow rectified it. Now, Maureen, you thought they were putting on an act, right?
Yeah, I think they're faking. They're
Okay.
master manipulators. They are just the best of the best of the best.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but you're looking at I don't yeah, I don't think that they were faking because it was so intense. Like that the betrayal before the ways when there was nobody else watching.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that was
it
my
was
argument.
pretty much just between the two of them.
That.
But who knows? We'll find out. Hopefully. I mean, clearly they're going to talk, and hate sex is great. Kiss and make up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rand
Just
is
angry sex. Whole season of it.
So Rand is in the waste. Looks like he's looking at something big, and we are pretty sure that it's the city of Ruidian, which we will talk a little bit more in the future.
And we have seen that in the teaser trailer too.
Yeah.
We saw them going over a ridge and looking down on this big misty city.
Yep.
So there's a city in the waste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that has significance, which we'll talk about. But yeah. Next up, we've got so we know that what this is, and we're going to share with everyone else. This is the battle in the two rivers. So in the books, Perrin goes home, and there's Trollocs that are going to attack again, but we've got some protections this time as opposed to the previous battle in the two rivers. And so we see some fighting, fire, battle, Trollocs, yada yada yada. Perrin in battle mode, screaming, yelling. He's doing his protection duty.
Yeah. So he's gotten over his reservations about kicking butt.
Apparently,
Yes. That
last time he was kicking butts against Trollocs, he kind of did a bad thing.
Yeah. So
there's
and in the same
there will be some
location,
baggage associated with this.
Yes, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So clearly season 2, the journey was trying to figure out if he was going to follow the way of the leaf or not. And this is his decision. He's going to protect his town in the best way that he knows how. Yeah. Then we've got a little lightheartedness coming on. Rand is looking at something. Looks like he's wearing the same clothes of the photo that had the 3 of them together. That was released. So this is probably in an inn, a bar of some sort, looking at something. Yeah.
And they talk. We're gonna need more. We're gonna need a lot more ale to.
There's not enough ale in the world to deal with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved this little snippet because in the books it's a much more stretched out thing, and these guys don't see each other for the longest time.
Yeah.
And
13 books.
Yeah.
Basically. But when they get together, it's like it feels good. It's the friends. They're drinking. They've got a lot more on their shoulders now, but
they're being themselves.
But it's a reunion.
Yeah.
And the show is more condensed, but I like the fact that they're there and they come through changes. Like Perrin's got his golden eyes right now.
Yeah.
Rand knows what he is. I don't know if I don't know if Matt is. Well, he's the hornblower.
Yeah.
So
yes.
He's got that.
Oh my gosh, that video was
Yeah.
hilarious.
They have all
so funny.
Yeah.
So anyone that didn't see it, Donal Finn as Matt Cawthon gave a speech as as Matt. Oh yeah, I'm the hornblower, and talking about trying to pretend humble, basically using he's trying to flirt with everybody. Very Matt. This was the most Matt video ever. Anyone that
It was
was
great.
concerned knows that Donal Finn is Matt now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is
And one of the things Rafe Judkins also did a Marvel show several years ago, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it was an ensemble show. So lots of different cast members. And one of the things Rafe did was, he'd have them all together and then they'd go off on their separate quests and then they'd come back eventually. And that was kind of the climax of it. And this seemed to me wrung of the idea of like, okay, we're meeting up. We know we have to divide and conquer. So, Perrin, you got to go back here and solve this problem. Me, I got to go somewhere where the people following me and are hunting for me, they're not, uh, they won't expect me to go there. And Matt, you gotta help Nynaeve and Elaine or Egwene or someone,
yeah.
I don't know if that's what he's gonna do, but
Who knows?
it's basically split up. We got to cover this. There's a reason that there are so many of us who've been identified as key to this thing. So let's divide and conquer, guys. And yeah, it's going to be tough, but we'll come back and have a drink afterward.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
I eat that stuff up.
I know.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
the chemistry between them all too, it feels like they've been friends forever. And so I love that that's captured on screen. And then we get to see them together. Like
I
that's
know,
really
right?
nice. It's really
Makes my heart hurt in a good way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's bad. It's gonna be bad.
Are
That's
we
the thing. Rafe
alive,
knows how to
glorious,
do those
alive today?
moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. So next up, it looks like Joya possibly is in either a cell or in a room by herself.
Do viewers of the show know who she is yet?
She was in the the talking scenes. She's the bald Aes Sedai. So she was in discussions with whether or not to test Nynaeve. She was one of the Aes Sedai there.
Okay.
And so she's hanging out with the fires burning, just kind of sitting on the floor. And then we have Lanfear, looking badass as always. Looks like it's somewhere dark and spooky and scary. Unsure where exactly, but have some theories that we can talk about later.
Yeah.
Where that is.
Moghedien did tell her to stay away from Rand.
Yeah.
But she is at the end of season 2. But what I love about these previews is now we're seeing that she's still a player in this whole thing. She hasn't been removed from the story.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a little mountaintop scene that even says she's very involved with the story.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, if she's in a dark place and she's looking perturbed, maybe she's dealing with her colleagues.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Entirely possible. Then we see Lan with his hair down and Nynaeve behind him, which means probably they were hanging out together. Get a little frisky. Because I'm sure Lan must take off his Hadori before sex. I'm sure
Never.
that's probably...
Never.
No, he would leave
not
on.
take it off.
Yeah.
The boots stay on too.
Oh my god.
Anywho.
And Lan is saying, they won't just come for Rand, they'll come for us all. And then it flashes through. We see Matt, we see Egwene in an inn, and we see like fancy doors opening.
That was Aragorn, right?
Yes, Aragorn. We're gonna say. Yep. But we don't know. I have no idea where this is. I'm trying to think. Like I'm looking at little context clues. I wonder if it's Tanchico. Somehow I don't know, but like I can't tell anything. Uh, that's there? There's nothing. I'm sure, and nobody else seems to have any ideas
Mhm.
either, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So
There's
yeah,
not a
well,
lot to go on.
no, but
But
come
people
on,
always find something. You're
yeah, I
right.
was like,
You're right.
you know, Wheel of Time people.
Yeah.
It might be something Shanshin because they like, you know, shoulders. They're big on shoulders and headpieces.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
And it's very tropical with kind of like the palm trees in the corner. Um, but yeah, literally no idea. So we'll find
Right.
out. We're gonna go in the middle. We're gonna see it, and in the middle, be like, ah,
Yeah.
that's
It's Aragorn. I
yeah.
knew it.
There's Aragorn. Yep. And then we see McGideon stroking Nynaeve's face. Nynaeve is wearing the shirt that she was in the photos
Forsaken
from
love doing that,
Tenchico.
don't they?
I know, don't they?
Ah, so weird.
Petting.
Love, yeah.
Yeah. And she's got black fingers too, which is interesting.
Ah, she was at the Darkhold. No, that's another
Yeah.
one. So
Man, you got to concentrate. We're on the Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time.
my grand unified theory: all television is
Yes.
one television. Okay.
And then McGideon has the really creepy smile. She's so
And like a
creepy.
giggle.
Yeah.
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 She was so awesome in that zinger or whatever you call those things at the very end of season 2, and I'm glad we're getting more of her now.
Yes.
Glad
Softly,
she's going to be a
softly
player.
from the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and creepy. I love it. I love it so
Yep.
much. Next up, spring is coming. Spring is here. We've got
Hooray.
some flowering trees and a very sad morning Alana. She's got the makeup on her eyes like she had in season 1 when
Oh, okay.
Oh, Maureen
Yeah.
and I were talking about that before.
Yeah.
We didn't know what that was
I
about.
didn't remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's in mourning for something or
Mm-hmm.
someone.
Okay.
And Perrin is doing gardening or visiting a grave or something. Probably, honestly, probably visiting his wife's grave.
Yeah, it's the apple blossoms,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, I think that's a special scene for
Mhm.
the book readers.
Yeah.
Was for me. I was drinking a bottle of red wine in my dorm room when I was reading that. Getting all misty, and oh man, I was a mess, and it was a great mess.
Aw.
But anyway,
Oh, but stunning, absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm, yes.
And then we go to the part where Rand is saying we're going to the last place anyone would ever look for me, which clearly is going to be the waste, which is scary for people that don't know how to deal with, you know, the desert. We've got a grumpy looking Loyal next. Some might say he's putting a long handle on an axe, possibly, but yeah,
he
being
seems
very
to be
hasty.
using that later on. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. Then next,
have we established much about the Ogier and like for book readers, we know them as a peaceful people. But I don't know if that's been established by the show. So when we see him with an axe,
they talked about it a little bit in season 1, talking about Ogier, and like how long they're living and that sort of thing. But I don't think there's been a whole lot of world building.
Yeah, they forced him. They forced Loyal to do the tree singing.
Yeah,
the Shanshan did. So that might have, reinforced a little bit that they're making the tree grow is what we do.
Yeah. So very lightly.
But at any rate, he's ready to go to war.
He's grumpy. Next, Rand and Lanfear are hanging out on a rock, or I guess Selene.
Yeah, that's Selene.
This is Selene for sure.
Yeah, I wrote Selene in my notes.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Is this a flashback? Is this a dream? Are they visiting in a dream and she decides instead of a dominatrix in your dream, I'm going to be the nice girl you
Yeah.
fell in love with.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. It's hard to say.
and like what her agenda is. Like she was forbidden from contacting Rand. That's not going to stop her, obviously, but
Right.
you know, the way this is going, I'm starting to wonder exactly where her allegiance is because there were some times when I thought like, oh, he's kind of gotten to you, hasn't
Yeah.
he?
Mm.
Which maybe
Maybe.
I
I don't
hold
know.
out hope.
It's
Maybe
possible.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll
Get in
see.
line, Landfair.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they're kissing, and Celine is opens her eyes and to like look at something or someone, so possibly distracting Rand, possibly like
Oh, or did someone else pop into the
floating, or
dream
did
and
somebody
said,
else pop
"Didn't
in?
I
Yeah.
tell you not
Yeah.
to?" Mm, yeah,
Yeah. Hard to say. Hard to say.
Mm.
it'll be
Um
creepy. Oh,
yes.
we're going to see lots of Forsaken, aren't we?
Yes,
All of
I'm
the seals are
I
broken,
think
so
so.
so
yeah.
excited.
That's
So
a good point.
excited.
Mhm.
Then we have Egwene in the desert with Bayer saying, "You do not belong here." This is, uh, light spoiler, but in the press release for this casting, it was explained that there was magic that wise ones had that was not channeling, and this is Televandriad.
Hello, Ranriad.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, so whatever, the dream
Okay,
world.
the dream
Yeah,
world.
yeah, the dream world. And so somehow Egwene has got in there, and is getting told, nah, this is bad. You don't belong here. Go
Did
Mm.
we
away.
did we see her display that ability in the show in the
I
past?
don't think we have specifically seen
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And so there was speculation that there might not they might have this might have been something that they cut. So it's nice to
Mm-hmm.
to see confirmation
Mhm.
that
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen. Um yeah, and then we see Egwene in the Adam again, looking scared, in as a
Damani.
Damane.
Damani.
Gotta these words, man. These words are hard.
Yeah, and then she crumbles. Egwene crumbles.
Mm.
So I'm assuming that's a nightmare or I mean, she's carrying trauma from that for sure.
Yeah, clearly.
So it could even be like a natural dream, a nightmare that she has about this. But, you know,
Yeah,
if we're talking about new abilities with dreams, this might be
yeah,
something enhanced as
yeah.
well.
But either way, it's nice to see that they're going to showcase some of the trauma related. That was something that we didn't see a whole lot of in the books. Was dealing with the trauma, so it's nice that they're kind of working through that. Like there was a little bit of it, but not nearly
Mm-hmm.
as um, yeah. Uh, Next line is our people have been waiting for the Karakarn's arrival, said by Avienda, overlaying an Aiel looking at the waist. So here we are at the waist. And
And
we
so,
see Rand walking too.
yeah. And did they say that already at the end of season two that why they had come out of the West? They're
Hmm.
looking for someone. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they call it the Karakarn. It's minor spoiler, the chief of chiefs. Uh, we can get our biblical allusions here of the King of Kings. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is an important figure to these people who Rand has never heard of or seen before, but somehow
Yeah.
he looks a lot like them, as
Interesting.
Tom Marilyn and Matt noted when they found the dead Ailman in the cage
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
uh, back in season one, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we're starting to converge some of that.
Connect.
Mm-hmm.
Connect some lines. Um, and then we see some dragons wrapped around an arm. This could be Rand's arm, or it could be Ruark's arm. I'm unsure, based off
Mm-hmm.
of the clothing. It's hard to tell, but it does look a little bit more like um, the whatever they call the cotton, algode.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks very
Cotton
rough
sore.
made. The materials,
Yeah,
and so, but stunning work.
yeah.
That's difficult to duplicate
Hmm.
with the gold dragons there.
Well,
Um,
it's interesting because we had that term, the Dragon Reborn. Uh, this is not Game of Thrones. There are no dragons that we've seen. Moraine conjured something that people seem to, at the end of season two, that people seem to recognize or understand. So there is a notion of a dragon that's associated with Rand now.
mhm.
But now we see if that is not Rand, then we see some other people who have the same emblem.
Yeah,
And boy, if let's connect the dots here. If they're looking for their chief of chiefs, these Aiel people, uh, and they have some association with the dragon, they've been looking for a long time, haven't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Ever since Luz Theron, I guess. But
For
yeah,
a while, they've definitely been
they've been
looking for
looking
it
for a
for a
while.
while. Yeah, and Avienda says to think it might be you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So he's going to have to prove himself in
yes,
some way.
because they're not gonna just like let it be. They're not going to let it just exist.
That's right.
It's going to be what it's going to be.
You gotta go through some trials
Yes.
before
Hmm.
you can
Speaking of
be accepted.
trials,
Yeah.
so we see two people here, one in a skirt and one not, walking down a foggy hill. This is presumably Moraine and Rand heading into Ruidian,
Hmm.
but it could be not. This is just speculation. We'll find out, which I feel like I say way too often, but it's fine. And during this, each step forward is a step backwards through time. This is the glass columns that are in the photos for the poster for
Yeah, the
season
new
3.
poster.
Hmm.
Those columns, we'll see it in the trailer in a little bit. And part of what this is the trials that the clan chiefs have to do in order to become a true clan chief. And each step forward is a step backwards in time.
Yeah. And I mean, so Ruidian is, these are minor spoilers, but Ruidian is a place of testing and trials.
Mm-hmm.
And women go there as well, to gain status, of the wise ones there. They have their own hierarchy, uh, of leaders among the women who are tested there, and men also go there to be tested. So there's some magic in the city, or there's some ancient lore that is tying them back to some kind of traditions that we're going to see.
Yep. Yep. Um, we see a picture of, or picture, Moraine is in presumably the sweat tents, which was how, since there's not a lot of water in the waist, this is how they bathe, basically sweating it off and then scraping it. So a nice little sauna to do it. And we see lots of quick shots of feet walking. We're seeing some in sand, some in like sidewalk type things. Presumably, this is in the Age of Legends. The scene of Rand as somebody else in
Hmm.
clothing that looks very much like what the Forsakens wear. Forsakens, Forsakens wear? Yeah, that's right. With the Forsaken, no, not
Forsaken.
Forsaken is plural. There's no S.
Forsook, is that just one of them?
Forsook.
Yes, yes. So we're seeing back in time, pretty far, which is exciting. I'm really excited to see um some more Age of Legends. I think that's gonna be
Hmm.
really, really cool.
Yeah, that was uh those were some cool revelations in past
Yeah.
seasons. And if we get more of that, that would be fun to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then we see Lanfear or Celine. Probably Celine because she doesn't have the like the dark eye makeup.
Mhm.
Is I was guessing making out with Rand's cheek. And then you see Egwene saying, "Do you love her?" They're both crying. Egwene is wearing not clothing that we had seen before, but we had seen in one of the photos that was released. And then on Instagram, Sharon Gillian uh, said that this was in a dream.
Mhm.
Oh, interesting.
So it's possible that this is like another dream or nightmare that Egwene is seeing, or possibly in the rings. I don't know. One of Either one of those is possible.
Have we seen whether Egwene is in the waste with Rand, Lan, and Moiraine, or no?
Um, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Not
Just that when
officially.
she's in the waste with the wise one, but
Yeah,
that's
But that could be
magic.
popping in through a dream,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So physically, she may not be there.
Right,
All right.
right. And now the next scene. Oh, gorgeous! These columns.
I
They
know,
look
so
like
Mm.
beautiful.
crystal redwood trees almost.
I love it.
It's so beautiful. And you see presumably Rand walking in, and there's also somebody ahead of him, um, walking through the columns, which we will discuss at the end.
Sure.
And then Egwene is
Very
also,
hard to
yeah,
I
talk about
know,
this
I
stuff
know.
I know.
without.
It's so we're doing our best.
It's
We're
a,
doing our best.
here's a forest of columns. Someone
Yeah.
else is there.
Yeah.
What could it mean?
And then we see Maureen also in the fog, with her lips really chapped, really
Mhm.
dry. So presumably they're, you know, doing whatever journey and difficulty is going on right now. Um, and then there's a step over the rings that we will see more of in the future. Um, and then Lan is holding Moiraine, saying, "What did you see in the rings?" Presumably, this is the rings that she saw in the testing that the Wise Ones did in Ruidian. We're gonna
Yeah, so
see.
that's a callback. In the tower basement, they do their testing there with three arches.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we have some rings
Yeah,
that seem to serve the same sort of purpose, but that means there's a culture of channelers
yeah,
in both places, and they have some parallel traditions by which uh, they promote
Mhm.
um, their women.
yeah, yeah. And then we're seeing some like floaty flying people. Um, it looks like it's Moraine and Avienda. Um, Based off of at 124, I'm looking at um like Maureen is back is I'm pretty sure it's Maureen anyways.
Mhm. Yeah.
It
Um
looked like her, yeah.
Mhm.
and then we see little feet hanging and edges of dreadlocks which look like they're Avienda's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So presumably they're going through at the same time maybe?
Mhm.
Um
Which tells us something that we didn't know about Avienda before. Well, if our assumptions are correct, she can channel.
Yeah, well, and except wise ones don't have to be able to channel, and they
That's
can
true.
go through the
That's true.
rings too. So it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily imply that, but
Mhm.
something in later on in the trailer
Until
will.
you see a flaming
Fear,
sphere appear.
right?
That's a pretty good
Yeah,
hint.
That's a
that'll do
pretty
it.
good indicator. All right, so Moraine is floating, flying, Avienda floating, flying, and then we're hearing in every future where I lived, Rand dies, and in every future where Rand lives, or every where I die, Rand lives. And we're going to see a little bit of those futures. For example, Moraine and Lan hanging out in a field, presumably bonding. So this could be the first bond or a future bond or a little flashback.
Someone juxtaposed that image online with a cover, or maybe it was a comic book panel from New Spring.
Yeah, the
where
ebook
she
cover.
okay, where she originally bonded Lan.
Yeah.
So this may be a flashback,
It may
and
be a
if so,
flashback.
they've recreated it in such a lovely way that
It's
I'm very
almost
pleased.
as if they're fans of the books.
It's good. You'll love to see it.
Yes. And then we see Rand is sitting on a stool in the middle of like a farming area with a bunch of people around, guessing that this is Two Rivers folks. Rand has gold dragon tattoos on both arms, as Moraine is bowing to him. So unsure exactly, it's some sort of like expectation or imagination of what is going to happen. Again, these are kind of dreams. We see Moraine holding Rand as Rand is dying. Moraine is wearing what looks like a Mirlin's getup.
Yes, definitely.
Gorgeous, stunning. Rand dies. And then in the next one, Moraine is wearing the Amirlin's stuff again. It looks like Swan is the keeper, possibly. Rand is in his red and gold jacket again, in the hall of the tower.
Looking scared and flighty.
Very scared.
Men who
scared.
channel should be scared in the hall of the tower. It's
Absolutely.
just kind of a rule. We saw what happened to Logain.
Yes. And then we see looks like Moraine crawling from Lanfear and the rest of the Two Rivers folk.
Dressed up as a goth band. I
know. This was great to see in the teaser trailer too.
Yeah.
So clearly this is, well, not clearly. Hopefully this isn't real. This is imagination. They have not turned to the dark, but man, that Sharon had so much fun with these costumes. Like trying to let's make them a goth band as epic as possible, and it looks so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. Best timeline.
Yep.
That's what I think.
And then you see Lanfear trying to stab Moraine and now try and choke Moraine in some sort of white sand desert. Looking scary.
A lot of violence.
And scared.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna move over to Andor, where it looks like Queen Morghese is pregnant, probably with Elaine, and gonna get crowned Queen of Andor.
Yeah. So let's remind everybody who maybe hasn't read the books.
Yep.
We were introduced to Elaine, daughter, heir of Andor, the princess of Andor. So this is a country we haven't seen yet, but we've heard of.
We have the Two Rivers is an Andor.
They haven't
officially
seen a tax
yes,
collector
but they have...
in 10 generations. No. Okay. All that nerdiness aside. So this is the large, powerful, rich nation that does officially include the Two Rivers, although they don't really acknowledge or even really know about their inclusion there. But Queen Morghese, she is the sovereign there. That's Elaine's mother. And we see another person in the court who fans of various other shows actually are excited to see.
Yes.
And I won't even try to pronounce her name. Do you know how to say it? I don't.
I have tried. But clearly I can't say half the words.
Yeah. Let's just call her Elena for now.
Yes.
Another Aes Sedai who has not been seen in the tower.
Yes. but so we're presumably this is the coronation, so we're in a flashback. So we're gonna hopefully get a little bit of storytelling with Morghese and Elaine, and kind of that whole energy, the vibes of get some history of Andor. Um, the next scene is Morghese walking to the throne, a nice epic like wide shot of it. And
So
then
one second. You said that that Morghese was pregnant, and you think that was a flashback. Uh, last season we had a young Barthanes as opposed to the book's older kind of. Uh, could it be possible that she's pregnant in real time in this adaptation?
I mean
I don't even know what would happen with that,
yeah,
but
it could be.
Hmm.
It could be. I would think that would be a plot line that would be unlikely.
yeah.
Um, I think flashback to do a little bit more like storytelling of like here's what
Foretelling.
forete could be. But I know it's been pointed out several times that so the country of Andor is very inspired by, shall we say, um, the country of Great Britain, and the idea of like long hair down to be coronate, like for the coronation, kind of the Virgin Queen type of a thing, but
Ah.
also by
the pregnant
the
Virgin Queen.
pregnant, but
It's happened
by being
before.
pregnant, being like, hey, this is the heir. It's going to be a female. We're going to have a daughter heir, probably, most likely, since two older brothers. So kind of this idea of like, hey, I'm here to bring the families together,
Yeah.
or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, that is a strange flashback to happen.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Mm-mm,
interesting to see
mm-mm,
how that
mm-mm.
fits with the plot.
Maureen says nope.
No, you've got it mapped. All right.
You think it's foretelling? You think it's a future?
No, we can't talk about it
Okay.
now.
Okay. We'll talk about it in the future.
Go.
At the end of
All
the,
right.
the episode. Okay. So
Don't
next
tempt
up,
me.
yeah, we have Alana and Maxim hanging out at windows. This has been pointed out that this window is in the Two Rivers. It's the same one that
Oh, okay.
Maureen was looking at.
Ah,
Thank you to everybody who has done so much work. I like the fact that we're doing this at the end of the day, which means a lot of
Mhm.
people have done a lot of other work for us, which I'm very grateful for. But Alana has the tears, the white makeup again, messy, but still clearly present
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I thought that was in the tower, so it
Yeah.
makes more sense that she's in the Two Rivers.
Yeah. And it says, we don't win battles with politics and prophecies. And then we see Elida looking a badass. Gosh, she's just stunning. How can I? Okay, I'm going to try and pronounce her name.
that's our homework for before next
Yes.
time. We got to know how to pronounce it.
Shorey Agdashlu. Okay, hold on. Let me how to pronounce.
You're a little.
Shorey Agdashlu. Agdashlu.
All right.
Yes. Yep. Shorey.
Awesome.
Is yeah. So Shorey looks absolutely stunning as Elida. Those earrings, oof, they look like they weigh a ton.
And yeah, for people who've just been following the show, this is a new character, obviously. It's for book readers, it's a very important character. And with an actor of the gravitas that they got for this role, I think she's going to be even more important
Yeah.
and perhaps more complicated
Yes.
than the book portrayed her as.
Yes.
So
Very
I'm really
excited.
excited to see where this
Yeah.
is going.
So
Mhm.
excited. So excited. We see Elaine in novice white, looking confused? Question mark. It looks like it's probably Tarvalon. We're seeing some of the intricate work behind. So probably Tarvalon, but unsure. But again, she is in novice white, so it's probably in Tarvalon. Speaking of Tarvalon, uh, Galad and Gawain are
Couple
fighting.
of handsome lads.
Handsome lads, getting all sweaty,
Yeah.
shirtless.
With all the novices in the background.
Yes, watching.
Or accepted, I guess.
Banging on each other with sticks.
And novices and accepted, hitting each other. Novices accepted and
I said I.
Oh.
And
I said I and Matt. Yes, both. All of them. Looking good. Glad perfection. So hot. And then we move on. We move on from the White Tower to Two Rivers, where Perrin, much cleaner than we first saw him in the trailer. But still looking battle ready. And Alana saying, "We win with armies." She's a little bit cleaned up with her pretty white tears morning makeup. She's got like a collar and bracers, and she's ready for battle. It looks like.
And Perrin is dressed in armor, and not just like, cobbled together armor. He's
nice.
He's looking like a leader of men.
Yeah.
He's military. He's gone military, and he's risen. He's not just a farm boy or a blacksmith's apprentice who's I guess he was a blacksmith in the show, but he's not that kid anymore.
No,
I guess.
No, he's grown up and he's ready to lead.
Yeah.
And part of who he's going to lead are the women of the Two Rivers with their boarded up little shields and their spears. Those ladies are ready to kick ass and take names and protect their people, which I love. I think that really...
back in the day, back in the first season, Maureen told a story about this country and what it used to be.
Yeah.
Weep for Manetheren. The people there fought off the Trollocs. They held the line. The men, the women, even the children were out there taking farm tools, anything that they could get their hands on, and they were fighting back. And it looks like time is repeating itself somehow. Like it's a big
like it's wheel.
Yeah. Wow. Time is a flat circle. Yeah. No. So what was old has come around again, and the people are getting ready.
Yes. Yes, indeed. All right, and then speaking of getting ready, Perrin, we've got Maxim ready to lead battle. They're ready to fight. They're ready to, and we get this really epic, like, battle scene. The archers are getting ready. You're seeing the Two Rivers longbows, the really tall bows that they say that grown men have to train for a while in order to be able to use them, because they're so epic, so tall. And we're going to see what they can do against the Trollocs. And something else that we see is Fail.
Okay, that was her. I wasn't sure.
Yes.
All right. Awesome.
Yes. Epic Fail.
So new character again.
Yes.
For show watchers only. Another character introduced here. And yeah, some of my favorite scenes involve her, and I hope we're gonna see those
yes.
In this season.
You didn't notice that they were kissing?
Rajiv? Yeah, they're kissing in the future.
Kissing's fine, but there's some just emotional beats.
No, but I mean that was Fail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know,
Logic didn't hit.
this preview goes by so quickly. Like we're sitting here dwelling on the on each moment, and I'm looking like the timestamps, and it's like,
Mhm.
okay, 150, Maxim yelling archers, 151, a group of men and women,
Yeah.
knock their arrows. So it's like, chop, chop, chop. There's a lot to process here.
Yeah, an absolute so much to process. So that whole battle scene, and then we see Loyal with Bane and Chiad running towards something. Loyal's got a long handle axe, presumably, ready to kick some butt. Don't mess with the gigantic ogier. That's all
Mhm.
I gotta say there.
That's right.
Still battling. We're seeing Perrin fighting. There's also some white cloaks in the background, fighting
Oh. Mhm.
with them,
Well,
or
and
against
that is
them.
interesting,
Hard to
right?
say.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Because last season, uh, the nickname for Perrin given to him by his friend who turned his bitter enemy, Two Rivers.
Mhm.
Who is it? Dane Bornhold.
Dane, yeah,
Mhm.
Uh,
Daddy Dane, as
yeah,
they like to
well,
call.
Geoffron was Daddy Dane, or was Daddy Bornhold,
Yeah,
who got killed.
yeah.
Um,
Daddy, as in Zaddy, Daddy,
oh,
Daddy
okay,
Dane.
sorry,
Yeah,
yes,
not
Daddy in
father.
the internet sense.
Yes.
Okay, got
Yes,
it, got it.
yes, yes.
Um,
But Perrin has an axe, not a hammer
yeah,
in this
yeah.
sense.
But so we have some convergence here. So Bornhold, the White Cloak, obviously came mad at Perrin. He knew where to go, Two
Mm-hmm.
Rivers, but these guys, this paramilitary group, supposedly they serve the light, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get much more shadow than Trollocs, than
Right? It's
actual
hard to,
Trollocs.
yeah, if you're
Yeah.
fighting against Trollocs, that means you're probably
So
not
so
with
you
them.
kind of gotta, if you're gonna take a side,
You would think, you would
yeah.
hope. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's
Uh
see where that goes.
all
How
right, more
easily that's
battle.
resolved.
More battle, explosion, but we see an explosion in the hall, and now we're back to an explosion in Two Rivers. Um, and then what looks like I'm guessing that this is Alana on a like a hill thing fighting against like doing her work, doing
Mhm.
like it's the fog. She's fighting. She's doing
Mhm.
her battle part. So bringing fog in so that it's harder to see or whatever. I don't know, could be something else, but that's my guess is that it's
Mhm.
Alana doing her battle part. And then we see another battle. So this is the same shirt thing that Egwene was wearing when she was crying with Rand,
Mhm.
which this could be in the waist. And this is Algode, like Wise One clothing, possibly. Um, and it wasn't a dream. I don't know.
Mhm.
It might be. I don't know. I don't know. But it is. This is, anyways. Avienda pulling a fire spear. She's got the makeshift shufa with a scarf around her face
Mhm.
because, of course, Aiel can't do battle without protecting their faces, and she can't as a nope, not going to say that because that's the future. Moving on, Avienda can channel.
Yeah, as we've established.
Yes.
Yes.
So Rand, I forget. Did Rand make a fire sword when he beheaded those Fades when he was with Lanfear, or did he just do that with his normal sword?
No, I think he did do it with a fire sword.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there
okay,
was a fire
okay,
sword at some point.
all right. Because I
Yeah.
was gonna say she's figured things out really quickly
Yeah.
if she's just started to channel,
Yeah.
and yeah, she's already making weapons and
Mhm.
doing that. But
Yep.
maybe that's just what she does.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been waiting all my life to do this.
We've got some people cutting wheat. very quickly. We will see. There's
You gotta
somebody.
eat.
The only person with hair showing is the Yosha character. So this is presumably past people. I don't know what they're looking at, but we've got a whole bunch of Aiel sitting around a bowl. Um, just like hundreds and hundreds of Aiel. It looks like in the waist. And then we're going back to the wheat. And we see Yosha dressed with a goatee and fancy hair. Um, Probably one of his ancestors. That's what I would
Maybe.
guess. Um,
Or the mirror universe where
or
everybody is who's evil has a goatee.
yeah, that could
That could
be.
be it.
Yeah, this could be uh Dinar Rand backwards, maybe. Um,
I appreciate the effort.
yeah, yeah, or it's Wand, but I didn't like Wand as much, Luigi and
Yes,
Wario
yes.
and Waluigi.
Got
Yeah, yeah.
reference acknowledged.
That was rough though. We're just gonna move on. We see Lanfear, presumably Lanfear as like maybe when the boar was being created. This looks like it's
So this is way past.
Still the
like
past.
Age of Legends Lanfear, possibly. This looks similar to the in season 1, the Aes Sedai with the white
Oh yeah.
jackets.
Okay.
Age of Legends Aes Sedai, possibly. But
So
again, we'll find out.
that would be really interesting because the whole lore we found in season 2 was that Lanfear loved Luz Theron back in the Age of Legends, and she has transferred that onto Rand now that he's reborn.
Yeah.
So by going back there and maybe exploring that, we're getting into her psychology a little bit,
Yeah.
potentially,
Possibly.
and making her role again. Who does she have allegiance to?
Yeah.
Making that a little more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, which is really interesting. Then we see Lan and Nynaeve kissing. Ew, gross. Just kidding.
What? It's my favorite.
I know. Love it. And then Elaine talking to Rand, talking about leadership, and how to be a leader. Because it's obviously Elaine has training as a daughter heir, going to be queen. She says, make them believe in you and they will follow you to the ends of the earth. And that's kind of what is going to happen.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. We see, presumably this is Perrin walking to the two rivers, I'm guessing, with Jane and Shiad and Loyal. Epic. And then lots of screaming. We've got Moraine screaming, looks like in the rings, probably. We've got Alana screaming, probably someone's dying.
Oh, and that's where we get the
that's why we're gonna have the morning,
the markings on her face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of screaming. Then we see Fail running with double daggers with lots of white cloaks behind. A Trolloc attacking. Fael's gonna go and kick some butt, and also kiss Perrin, covered in blood.
I gotta rewatch this. I missed all of
it. And then we have Lan carrying Moraine. She's screaming. It's bad. Looks like there's like sand or blood or something coming out of her mouth. Lan has blood coming out of his nose. This is the dress in the photos, the blue dress with the gold like leather work almost. And it looks covered in sand. So clearly
Mhm.
they're in the waste probably still. But it's bad. Then we have Rand saying this is what I was born to do, just in the generic white backdrop, probably the waste again in sunshine. Hard to say. And then we've got fire exploding out of him, and things are breaking. Fire going everywhere, channeling, angry, grr, arg.
Yeah. Yeah.
So angry, all the
Oh,
fire, all the rage. And that's it. And then we got the Wheel of Time. I found it really interesting that in this preview they used the music from um the so for season 2 trailer they had like a Halsey song, and this uses the music from the show, which like the same type of music, which I think is an interesting choice. I wonder if it didn't like if season like they did a testing and they're like, oh, let's do something different with season 3.
Mm.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I
Mhm.
love the music
yeah,
so
I think
much.
we were talking in our private Dragonmount chats about having that stuck in our heads as
Yes.
we went over this. So absolutely.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, that's the trailer for season 3. You know, it only took us an hour and a half to get through. 2 minutes and
Insane.
19 seconds.
Uh,
Which yeah, I think that we
That,
did
that
great.
doesn't bode well for the episode.
Listen, we're here for this. This is what we're here for, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, I think is there anything else we want to say before we go into the spoiler
Now
spoiler
let's
section?
do it.
All right,
Okay,
so
what are we going to talk about?
oh my gosh, so much. Okay, so clearly I mean we'll start from the beginning. We've got we've got the tower is breaking. We've got Landon gets called out as a Black Aja, and other sisters come and fight, and we've got the battle. We've got death, destruction, fighting. It doesn't look good for the Black Aja, but obviously they're gonna go and do what they can do to fight and
but
make it.
how and why is this happening?
And I
I
think
mean, even Egwene saying we're tearing each other apart or whatever she said. Like, what?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so it's got to be the split, for the
The
dragon.
split. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the dragon is causing trouble. Black Aja is causing trouble. We've got, this is going to be possibly we'll have the downfall of Swan and Leanne.
Mhm.
They're going to get like the true breakdown. Or maybe not. I don't know. But we'll
Yeah. I think this trailer was misleading us a little bit. So there is that there is Leandrin and potentially her escape with the rest of the Black Aja.
Mhm.
That kind of happened in the background in the books.
Yeah.
But we're getting something obviously a little more dynamic and dramatic. What happened more slowly in the books, so it didn't really happen until book 5, I think, was where you had the real tower schism.
Yeah.
So, and in that case, it was because Suwon was found out to have been secretly meddling and trying to manipulate the dragon without telling the tower, the hull of the tower,
Yeah.
everyone. So, that was she did wrong. She was doing secret stuff
Yeah.
as head of government, and the equivalent of Congress there, the hull of the tower, called her on it.
Yeah.
And obviously there was some manipulation behind the scenes, but that's why she was deposed. She was definitely deposed. It looks like here it's going to be a little more dramatic and violent, but I think you're right, Maureen, when you say the flashpoint is that It's what do we do with Rand? Do we stay behind the walls of the tower to deal with him? Do we go out in the world to help him? That's what Egwene's probably trying to get him to do. And there's going to be a schism based on that. And it's separate from the trial of Leandrin.
Leandrin. Okay. Yeah, because I'm not seeing any of that. I'm just seeing a lot of Black Aja, and it's like the Black Aja wasn't what split it, unless it is what split it this time.
Right.
Yeah.
It might be.
Or it could be two separate battles.
Yeah.
It's also possible. And so we know we're pretty sure now that Alana is going to be mourning Ivan.
Yeah.
That's because we see Maxim, but we don't see Ivan. And then she's crying.
And again,
Ivan died.
Yeah.
I wonder if Maxim has something to do with it, just because we've had those theories
I
that
hope
have been
not.
going around.
Yeah, I hope not too, but also it's
that would break my heart.
A dark friend.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Let's hope
that's the point, right? Break your heart.
Yeah.
There was always something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. So we'll do Perrin, Two Rivers.
Okay.
Meets Fail. Alana's there. Maxim is there. Fighting. They're battling. The White Cloaks, are they helping or not? Because in the books, the White Cloaks, like there's this whole thing with the White Cloaks where they're protecting the Two Rivers from the Trollocs, but then they're not really. And in the big battle for the Two Rivers, they're there, but they don't fight. They're kind of like, oh yeah, you told us to be here, so we're here, but we're not actually going to do anything. And that, like, so it's interesting to see if they're going to actually take part in the fight.
Why are Bane and Chiad there without Gaul? They followed. No,
they followed Gaul. Yeah,
they followed.
Right. Or Gaul followed them.
Gaul,
kind of,
yeah.
But
I wonder if Gaul is just not.
He's just not there.
Just not in.
So I was wondering if they were making up Avienda's life debt, because remember she didn't Perrin free her, and didn't she say she needed to pay him back?
That could be it.
So if they're near sisters, would they have been like, oh well, we'll follow, because Avienda's got her duty to go as a wise one, so maybe they're like, oh well, we'll go with him in your place.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that. Or it's way more interesting to go with Perrin and Loyal. They want to go
maybe. No, instead of the Karn?
Yeah, weird.
Nah.
But they want to go with the Tree Singer.
A big thing that happened in the book, and I don't know if it will happen here, is Padan Fain was kind of behind the return of the Trollocs, the kind of corruption of the White Cloaks, and then there was another player that entered at about this time, who goes by the name Lord Luke, also goes by the name Isam, also goes by the name Slayer, and becomes Perrin's big nemesis. He's kind of an anti-Wolf brother in a way. Have any of those characters been cast?
Do we know? There's been no announcement. I think this is an easy cut.
Yeah, for sure.
To minimize. I've read the books how many times? I still cannot explain how it works.
Do you think Fain is going to be a part of this?
I don't know, because
he's at loose end right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen him at the end. We didn't see him at the end of season 2, like at all, since the horn got found back, I guess.
Right.
And so I think it would be an easy way to add him back in, and also to add in that nemesis for Perrin, instead of the Isam Lord Luke Slayer character. Fain is part of it. Fail and Perrin.
Looking forward to Fail.
Very much looking forward to Fail. I'm excited to see what they do with that relationship, because and expand it in a way that I think Robert Jordan, if the books had been written, 20 minutes. 20 years later, the relationship would have been a little bit different, I think.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how that
Mhm.
works. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll do Rand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk now. This is Ruidian.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mhm.
where wise ones become wise ones, apprentices become
Mhm.
wise ones. This is where candidates become clan chiefs.
Yep.
This is where the entire history of the Aiel is revealed to those
Mhm.
leaders. And that history, it really ties them to that purpose of being the people of the dragon. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
have the dragon tattoos. That's why they're searching for the dragon reborn, who they call the Karakarn, because they're destined to serve him.
Yep.
And so, you know, in the books at least, Moraine was trying to manipulate things. So, we cut out book three altogether, but like she was trying to get him into Tyr, get his special Terengriel or Sangreal sword,
Mhm.
and also unify an army under him because he would become a ruler of Tyr. And they said,
Mhm.
Yeah.
these are the people of the dragon now, they're
Yeah.
his people. So he'll have an army at his back right away, so he doesn't have to worry about all of the other Forsakens maneuvering.
Mhm.
Well, prophecy has something even better in store for
Yeah.
Rand,
Mhm.
and that is we're going to give you the fiercest Fremen warrior types ever, who have been for generations just molded into the hardest warriors you can find,
Mhm. That's a good
and
point.
whose traditions go all the way back to the Age of Legends to say, we are going to serve this guy and we're going to bleed and die for him, and he's going to shatter our people, but we're going to serve him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's like,
We're gonna
all
serve
right,
him in our way. We're gonna
yeah,
serve him how we want to. Because the Aiel are nothing. They are definitely not yes men. They're gonna
Yeah.
absolutely,
be
absolutely.
stubborn sons of
There
bitches.
there will be
Mhm.
conditions, but
Yes.
he's their sole hope of salvation, and they
Yeah.
know
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Uh, the remnant of the remnant that survives of that
Mhm.
people will be because of Rand.
Yep. Yep.
And so this is a very important messianic figure
Mhm.
uh, in the book. So Rand is being prepped you know, to become the Messiah here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And we have, that's what the dragons around the wrists, are because of going through the crystal garden of magic. The person that went through ahead of him is probably Couladin's brother,
Mhm.
whatever his name is.
I
With an
thought that was
M.
Couladin. Was it
No,
Couladin?
Couladin is
No,
no Couladin's
Couladin.
brother.
Yeah, because
Mad.
Couladin doesn't go through.
Oh,
He gets the fake ones from
yeah, you're
Osmodian.
right.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the guy who tore his eyes out.
yeah, because he
Yeah.
Yeah,
couldn't handle
okay.
the fact that they were peaceful people
Boy, I
before.
can't remember his name. Oh well, that's all
It
right.
doesn't matter. Couladin's brother.
He's toast anyway.
He doesn't
But
matter.
yeah,
But yeah,
but that's the thing, man. It's you know, you are going through these columns to prove yourself either a chief or the chief of chiefs. You can get one tattoo or two tattoos,
yeah,
and not everybody makes it through because not everybody can face the history. The
yes,
history is that,
Mhm.
oh, the way we live right now, we've betrayed every ideal that was instilled in us at the beginning.
yeah,
And that is our original sin. This is very biblical. We are expiating our sin. We are not going to go back to being, they followed the way of the leaf, the way the Tinkers do now.
yeah,
Um, they were pacifists. Now they are warriors, and the reason they veil their faces before they kill is because that is their shame. They are betraying who they are, and most of the Aiel don't know this. Only the leaders do,
yeah.
and it's the leaders who have to keep them true. So, do you think we're going to have Couladin with fake tattoos? And if so, who gives them to him?
I know. Do we think it?
Mm.
Yeah, I think it would be a really easy way to add Asmodean
Mhm.
in as the
God, I
Forsaken.
love Asmodean.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so. I hope so. We know we're fairly certain that Asmodean is one of the Forsaken
He's one of the Forsaken.
based
Oh,
on the
that's right. Because
guitar and the little statues.
yeah,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
little statues.
Yep.
Okay, good.
But and it would make sense to have him here even without Lanfear. Um and it would be an easy sell basically to make that
I think it
happen.
would be easy to cut.
Yeah. But see, I think you got to have so I think the scene where all of the Aiel are standing along the top of the thing, I think that's where
Mhm.
Rand is going to announce and where Couladin's going to like have a
Mhm.
breakdown, and this is going to be, that defining factor because
Mhm.
it's how you're going to move back into the wetlands. That's how you're
Mhm.
going to is the Shido is an easy, but it also is an easy way to cut. So
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the Shido can still be angry without having a leader like
Yeah.
Couladin.
Yeah.
True.
But
And
it's an easy way to showcase to have some exposition of history without
Mhm.
having to just sit there and stand and be like blah 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 type of a
That's
thing.
true. Yeah.
So
and it'd be really cool to have two schisms running in parallel in this
Mhm.
season. So we have the Tower schism, people who
Mhm.
feel like they should go out and help Rand, presumably, and then the Tower folk who feel like, no, we've got a different sort of duty, and
yeah,
if the Red Odge are running that, then that's pretty crazy. But and then we have this other that is saying that yeah, this is our destiny and it's going to ruin us, but it is our destiny and our duty, versus no, that's a lie. We have a different destiny, and I know what it is, and it doesn't involve this wetlander here. We're going to
yeah,
go off
Mhm.
and find our own glory.
yeah,
So the world is fragmenting, and we've got these
Mhm.
two
Yeah.
big institutions that have been there forever,
yeah.
and
Crumbling.
they are
Yeah,
crumbling. They're
Mhm.
splitting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good point.
yeah,
Good thematic thing to do in the season.
yeah.
Mhm.
I like how they're basically going to use the rings as the red door. So Maureen is not asking the questions to the Elfin or the Eelfin, whichever
Yeah.
ones
Mhm.
are there, and instead is going to see it in the rings. I like that switch. I think that's easy
Mhm.
enough to do.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, narrowing the story down
Mhm.
is pretty smart.
Although everyone is focusing on the little leather strap in the poster around Matt's
So
neck.
there's a wider shot that was given,
Okay.
and you can see the fox head medallion.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
So
he's going out
yeah,
with
Nice.
uh-huh.
I don't know where he is, like who he
Something,
is with,
yeah, it doesn't
but
have to be in Ruidian that he gets
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah, because he'll be in the
also,
tower.
yeah, but
There's
you
a whole bunch of
also,
Trongrail there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you also notice that the column goes through his eye.
Ah.
Oh,
Very nice.
whoa.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
there's that too.
Is Matt out in Tanchico with
Yes.
the Wonder
So
Girls?
in the photos that were released of Chanchico,
Oh
he's
yeah,
with,
Matt
yep,
is.
he's dressed up with the
And he's in
veils and
drag and
Okay.
stuff, or is that just their
Oh, that's
I
true.
costume?
don't know. It's hard to
No,
say,
the men wear veils
but
too,
the men,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
I
But like
think,
he had, yeah, I don't know what
yeah,
he
I
had.
don't
Oh,
know.
I didn't
He
notice.
just looked fantastic, is what he is. But yes, he is in Tanchico. So
Okay,
presumably
so
that is going to happen. Well, and so
Mhm.
Magideon is stroking Nynaeve's face,
mhm.
and so that showdown is going to happen,
Mhm.
which is
Great
very
showdown.
exciting. I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
excited for that. I'm so
Uh-huh.
excited for Galad and Gawain fighting
Mhm.
Matt
Okay.
Mhm.
is
So we
hopefully
think
going to
that's gonna
happen.
happen.
I think it would be very sad if it didn't. When I talked to the two stunt coordinators, and I asked specifically about that.
Ah,
Not I did a roundabout way because I knew they couldn't outright say it,
yeah.
but they said that Matt Donalfin came in and was ready to fight and was very excited to do that. And so potentially
Nice.
it's gonna happen. Fingers
Wonderful.
crossed.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. It was very cool.
Those are the moments, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Mhm.
there are all these moments that I know are going to happen, and I want to see them
Mhm.
translated.
Yes.
Yes,
And
I know, right?
so does everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else wants
Everyone's
to see it.
got their particular moment that they really
Yep.
want to see. But,
Yep.
yeah.
Let's see. So Egwene is gonna be dreaming and learning dreams and with the wise ones, which is
Mhm.
great.
Why was it not a miss? A Mies, whatever. The wise
Oh,
one that
Oh,
saw
yeah,
her in the
yeah.
waist.
yeah, by year instead. Okay, so in a video that will be coming out February 24th, where I interviewed Rafe Judkins, that was the first question that I asked.
Okay,
Oh.
nice.
And then
So
he
we'll hold
also
on to that.
he also answered in somewhere else, and basically they had already cast Bayer as Bayer, and in order to, because of timing and planning and whatnot, they
Yeah.
basically, it was not a creative choice, it was a
A
necessary
scheduling
choice.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so basically we're gonna like you had to show wise one that could channel and wise ones that couldn't channel, and this is kind of how that happened. So
I see. Makes sense.
yeah,
Okay.
doing what they had to do
Mm-hmm.
to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else.
We want to talk about Moraine's sphere.
Yeah, the little ball of.
Yeah.
Do we
Maureen,
think it's...
what you had a theory, and you said later, "Oh wait, no."
Well, yeah, because Kathy dashed it. I was thinking, her old trick of eavesdropping, how she
Oh,
would have to channel
okay.
into her little thing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Little
eavesdrop on
necklace?
Rand.
Thesura.
Yeah, while he's in the waist and all that stuff, but
Okay.
that
Yeah,
that
probably
doesn't seem
not.
like it's gonna,
See,
gonna
I
hold
was
true.
thinking much bigger. I was thinking
Uh-huh.
Choden Call.
Yeah.
So like, in the books there are smaller statues holding up
I
the
guess
crystal sphere.
they were in Ruidian,
Yeah.
But
the
yeah,
totem color,
maybe yeah.
or the access
Maybe
keys.
this is the access key and it's just a
Mhm.
sphere, and why
Yeah,
not? That
maybe.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would make
And
sense for the ending, like the
yeah.
last episode.
Now what she's gonna do with it is interesting because, you know, she found in the books, and this is book 5 at this point, she
Mhm.
found a nice Angreal that would lure Lanfear into her trap,
Mhm.
where they could both, you know, kick
Fight.
off.
And
But like the ultimate bait is the most powerful Sangreal ever made.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if
definitely.
she's channeling that to say, I have to take Lanfear off the board and this is the way to do
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I guess the question is, do we feel like Maureen is like, do we know contractually what's
Nobody.
happening?
Well, season 4 has not been uh greenlit,
Okay.
like announced. There's no announcements there. I think it's very easy to have Rosamund Pike die,
Uh-huh.
like be at this is the end. So if we get season 4, please, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many we get, I think it's very easy to save a little cash. And not have Rosamund Pike come back. Possibly she'd come to the end, but I think it's also easy enough to just have her dead.
Yeah.
She's already passed on what she needed to do. Min's vision was,
Right.
how is Rand going to survive without a woman dead and gone, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the only thing she did was make Egwene kneel, is basically what she said in this trailer.
Yeah.
So her purpose has been served.
Yeah. It's basically done. She's
that's
done
fair.
her stuff. And honestly, I thought it was pointless in the books too to have her come back. And the forced Tom and Moraine relationship, it was so awkward. Let's keep Moraine and Swan together.
Is Tom even in this show anymore, or
I don't know. I don't know.
Not hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he'll come back, but I don't know.
I have no idea what he'll do though, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
but that's
okay.
okay. That's okay. Let's see. Did we talk about? Yeah, I think we talked about everybody.
One of the things I want to talk about is when
Yeah.
Maureen's seeing the visions in the rings.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that part of it's in the tower, and she's wearing the Amerlin
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But couldn't it also be an ode to her being queen of Carrion at one point?
Mm.
Oh,
Because
possibly.
it looked more queen y than
I
than Suan's get up.
Yeah.
yeah, kind of, but it also kind of looked like one of the outfits that she wore, like the really big like gold hat
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so I think it's possible, but I don't know why she would be walking around with the keeper around the dragon as the queen and not
No,
as the
the one
queen.
in the desert
I know,
or
but it's the same
wherever.
one.
Oh
It's the
yeah.
same
Right,
outfit.
it is the same one.
Yeah,
But she would be
Interesting.
Amerlin in two different lives.
maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know. Listen, yes.
Answer it, Kathy, right now.
I love so yeah, we could talk about the new spring cover basically. So looking like a
Yeah.
flashback to the first
Mhm.
thing, or possibly like unbonding, or like
Yeah,
passing
she
the
knows she's
bond.
gonna die.
Yeah, if she
Yeah.
knows she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna die, something like that is
Oh,
an
that's
option.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think any of those are
Mm-hmm.
possible, really.
So he doesn't have to go insane and
Mm-hmm.
be
Yeah.
interesting. Although there's something there's something beautiful about Nynaeve being the one to like overcome that madness uh in him, not Moraine. Like
Yeah.
if it's
Mm-hmm.
Moraine doing it, you know,
Yeah.
it's the magic that does it. If it's because he's found his true
Mm-hmm.
love and his true alignment with
Yeah.
someone, there's something a little bit more romantic about that. But
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Yeah.
I'll take it whichever way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll take it for sure. I love that. Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
What are you looking forward to most?
Oh my gosh, everything. I'm really looking forward to uh, Two Rivers. I'm
Yeah.
excited to go back to the Two Rivers. I'm excited for um Egwene and the Aiel. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Mm-hmm.
Egwene's my girl. I'm excited
Mm-hmm.
for her journeys. And for her to heal a little bit. I'm ready for her
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
heal.
for sure. For sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
What
What
about
about
you,
you?
Maureen?
Definitely the Landon Nynaeve interactions. Like that's just what I
Yeah.
live for. Like any
Yeah.
time they're together, I am just a happy girl. But then Matt fighting
Oh gosh, yes.
Galad
Yeah.
and Gawain is just gonna make my day if that happens.
It'll be great. I love it whenever Matt's on screen. It's great. I think what I haven't seen and what I'm most interested in finding out about is I think all of the Forsaken are going to show up now.
Hmm.
They're released, so I think they'll at least make an appearance, and I just want to see
Mm-hmm.
them.
I
I want to see what they look
know.
like. I want to see
Yeah.
how their personalities are.
I want to
Uh-huh.
Because
finalize how many there are,
yeah,
How
yeah,
many?
yeah,
who they
Yeah.
are, what's going on, all of that. I want to see
Mhm.
yeah.
it.
But like Moghedian was such an interesting interpretation of that, and
Yes.
so really, uh, it won me over just by that tiny scene. So
Yes.
obviously I want more,
Mhm.
but like,
Yeah.
okay, now you can go crazy with all the rest of them. So what are they going to be?
Mhm.
I think
Yep.
we talked about this last time we were podcasting, like Asmodean, if he's there, is he going to be like a punk rock guy? Is he going to be,
Yeah.
Yes.
what's he going to be? What kind of
Yes.
musician is he going to be?
I'm so
Uh,
Oh,
excited.
he's part of the goth band. Duh.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that would be awesome. So I'm really excited to see how that shapes up.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Ugh. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to close this out? Do you
Yes,
remember
I do.
what
I
the
have it
spiel
written
is?
down. I can read
Yes.
it.
Okay.
You can find links to follow us online in the show notes or on dragonmount.com. On our website, we have tons of great content about the Wheel of Time, blog posts, chapters, and episode summaries, news, as well as links to our YouTube channel that has tons of great videos there, unless you're watching this on the YouTube. We're doing something a little bit different for season 3. We are doing video podcasting. So if you want to watch our beautiful faces talk about it, head on over there. We also have a ton of book reviews. More and more each month are going up there. And thank you to Tor for sponsoring those and letting us sneak peek a few books. You will definitely find things to entertain you. Also, make sure to check out our Patreon. We have also revamped our Patreon, so check that out. Lots of new, exciting benefits and levels, and we would love to have you join us there. Not only do you get to support the community of creators here at Dragonmount, but we have other goodies for you too, including some of the full episode, like the full interviews that I've done in the past. With cast and crew. It's very exciting. We are excited to bring some more goodies to the Patreon as well. We want to make this community even more of a community. And so with that, I have been Kathy Campbell.
I have been and will continue to be Rajiv Moté.
And I'm Maureen Carr.
This is not the ending, but it is an ending. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you have an absolutely incredible day.